making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake.
Hey, barkeep, whose leg do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here?
Who let the dogs out? Who? Well, today it's me, because today I'm talking about fictional dogs, and I am ranking and tier listing them. I've got about 30 of them from different movies, shows, and I only have one in universe. So, like, I have Goofy on here, but I do not have Pluto. So, today I am ranking and tier listing fictional dogs. I hope you enjoy, and let's get started.
There's whale poo, and then there's you.
Alright, let's start off the F tier with the goofy goober in last place. That is Brian Griffin. I hate Brian. I know that, like, most people also do, but Brian sucks. Brian is not an interesting character. He constantly tries to have sex with his best friend's wife, though that was more of an older season stuff. But the thing that gets me about Brian is he's just a douche. He thinks he is the smartest person in the world, and even though he's a dog, I know I'm getting, like, really into this, but I hate Brian. When they killed off Brian in Family Guy, I was so happy. But then they literally brought him back 2 episodes later. But no, Brian is just a douche who thinks he's smarter than everyone, and he's a hypocrite a lot of the time. Honestly, the only person in universe that really sees him for what he is Quagmire, and Quagmire hates him. Quagmire sees him being hypocritical and a jerk and just trying to sleep with his best friend's wife, which he also does, but we're not ranking people. So Brian is dead last at number 30 in the F tier. Alright, at number 29, still in F tier, I have Marley from Marley and Me. This dog was just kind of a bad dog. It caused so much trouble, and, like, eventually they loved, like, they felt so sad when the dog died because it was a part of their lives and it was such a huge thing, but, like, Marley was a bad dog. I can't justify putting Marley any higher than F because Marley was going around, like, tearing up plants and breaking things and chewing things up. Like, Marley was lucky that they were so chill about it, because Marley was not a good dog. Especially compared, like, I'm looking at the rest of the list right now, and Marley was lucky that Brian existed, Brian from Family Guy, because Marley would have been in last place. That's just not a good dog. Alright, in 28th, still in F tier, I have Binky from Arthur the Show. All I remember about Binky is that he was just kind of a doofus. Like, he just kind of looked big and dumb the whole time. I've got nothing specifically against the kid. I think the other two, Marley and Brian, were the two that I really had beef with, but, like, Binky was just a doofus, and I don't think he ever added anything to Arthur. He was just kind of there. He wasn't a good character. He wasn't DW. Like, think about how impactful DW was to, like, memes and stuff. Now, Binky was just there to be a little doofus, so he gets 28th place. Alright, then in 27th place, I have Catdog. And okay, hear me out. It's not because of Catdog himself. I don't think I can justify putting Catdog on a higher tier than F tier when he is half cat. He is only half a dog. There is nothing I could say that would make me like, yeah, he's a fun character. He's just kind of a silly, dumb guy, but I don't think I could justify putting him any higher because he's just half cat. And I don't know, nothing else to say about that. And in 26th place, this is going to be probably a little controversial. It is the Beast, or Hercules, from The Sandlot. He was basically the antagonist of the movie, even though the kids were just kind of dumb, to be fair. And, like, urban legends were kind of dumb. But he was a problem. He was a big, mean-looking dog that, like, literally chased a kid all around town and was 200 pounds. Like, this is a huge dog. I'd be terrified of him. And I get it, he was actually a nice dog, but he was the antagonist of that movie. He was causing all the problems. Other than the idiot kid just getting his Babe Ruth ball. That was crazy. But no, Hercules or the Beast just, I can't have the antagonist of a movie be higher than F tier because he was a bad dog. No, he wasn't a bad dog, but he was scary and he caused a lot of problems. All right, at the top of F tier, at 25th place, I have Spike from Tom and Jerry. Spike had a few good moments in the show. You know, like, he's a good father. He's big tough guy. He'll go after Tom for Jerry sometimes, but he was just a bully. And I didn't rock with that because, like, a lot of the time, I know Tom's trying to catch Jerry. Jerry goes overboard. Jerry, like, Tom tries to hit him with a fly swatter. Jerry shoots him with a nuclear bomb. So to have Spike just add in with that, like, Jerry basically had a bodyguard at times to come terrify Tom. And I get it. Jerry is scared of Tom, all that. But I don't know. I'm not ranking mice or cats right now. I'm ranking the dogs, and I just never liked Spike. Alright, starting off C tier, in 24th place, I have Doug from Up. He was okay. He was bullied a lot by other dogs, which is sad, but like, the main reason he's this low is because he was annoying. He just always yapped. This is why we don't create real collars where dogs can talk, because he just yapped all the time, and it really annoyed me as a kid, and probably still would now if I watched Up again. But yeah, Doug isn't great. Doug's Doug. I don't have anything else to say. He's just a little annoying to me. That's it. And in 23rd place, I have Ace the Crime Hound, which, if you don't know, is Batman's dog. This is the only universe where I use two different dogs because I have Krypto later on. But Ace was just boring. He was like, Krypto was, because he's the best comparison, is so much more interesting, so much more dynamic. Ace is just, I don't know, he has no power, so he's just a dog. He's just a dog, and like, Batman's just a dog too sometimes, but Ace just isn't it. And in 22nd place, I hope I pronounced this right because it's been a minute since I watched Naruto, but Akamaru. He is Kiba's dog, and he's a good dog. He's a really good fighter. He was like the smallest of his group. Like, I'm trying to remember Naruto at this point. He just doesn't have much of a character, so I can't put him any higher. He's kind of boring. But no, he is a good defensive dog, a good fighter. Dog's basically a ninja, so he's on the list, and he's not at the bottom, but no, he's just a little boring, so he didn't make it up any higher. And in 21st place, we have Korra's dog from Korra, Naga, which, this dog is huge. He's like, I don't know if he's a polar bear dog in the show, but he basically is. He's just a huge dog. Like, I don't know. He's good at fighting. He's helpful to Korra in fights, and she could ride him places, so that's cool. But he can't talk or anything, so it's hard for him to, or her, now that I think about it, I'm not sure. But to develop a character and to have any interesting traits, they're just very protective, and they're nice. They're cool. I like Appa more from Avatar: The Last Airbender originally, so it's hard. It's hard comparing, but I like Naga. And in 20th place, I have Cosmo, who is the dog from the Marvel Universe. More specifically, and most recently, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie has Cosmo. Cosmo's like a psychic dog that can talk and has a Russian accent and can use like psychic abilities. So like, Cosmo's pretty cool. We just don't get to see Cosmo a lot. Cosmo is a good dog, but like, we just don't see enough of Cosmo to have them rank higher, because everyone else comes up, there's more stuff going on, they have more of a character and character development, but Cosmo's pretty cool. And in 19th place, I have Goddard from Jimmy Neutron, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, or the movie, whatever you want to say. Goddard's pretty cool. Goddard doesn't talk, but Goddard is such a high-tech, cool dog that, like, he becomes more than a dog to Jimmy. Like, Jimmy can ride him into space and can come up with, he's like AI for him. I don't know. But, you know, he is technically AI, so that's silly of me to say. But Goddard can do so much. He's super cool. Just, he doesn't talk, so that holds him back quite a bit for him being a character, but he still did pretty good. He almost made the top of C tier. And in 18th place, at the top of C tier, I have Clifford, the big red dog. This dog is, I don't know. I don't know if you remember the story as a kid, but like, I can't remember his owner's name, but she loved him so much, he grew to be the size that he is. He's like 20 feet tall. I don't know, Clifford was always a fun property to me. Like, there was a live action movie a couple years ago, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun watch. But no, Clifford's really cool. It's really cool to have just a big ass dog, and like, not a real reason for it to happen, but that just made the show and the story more interesting. Clifford's pretty cool. Doesn't talk, but he's pretty cool.
I mean, it's alright, like.
And to start off B tier, in 17th place, I have Slinky Dog from Toy Story and that whole series and franchise. I always thought he was pretty fun. I always thought I liked his voice. He had a fun, like, little gruff voice, but I don't know, he was one of the smarter toys and like more wise, was able to give advice to Woody and Buzz and all that. I don't know, I just thought he was pretty cool, and it helps that he was in Toy Story. Toy Story is such a popular and well-written world, and he thrives in that world. He's pretty good. He's not like anything crazy great, but he's pretty cool. And in 16th, I have Mr. Peabody from Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I have seen one movie. I saw their most recent movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it was really fun. I really like him as a character. He's just a genius dog, essentially. And him and this kid just go on adventures and go through time. And I don't know. I really like the idea of a genius dog. I think it's really silly and it's really fun. And I don't know. I like Mr. Peabody. I keep wanting to call him Mr. Sherman, but like I like Mr. Peabody. He's a cool dude, and he wears a bow tie, and that's rad. And in the middle of our list at 15th, I have Wilfred from the show Wilfred. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this show, but this was a weird show. I thought it was fun though. I thought it was so. The whole shtick is it's Elijah Wood, and he has a dog that everyone else sees as a dog, but it's just this dude. This dude dressed as a dog is what we see, and it's really funny. And there's like so many hijinks. I know I'm talking about the show, but he is the show, so like it is really fun. I think Wilfred was a fun character, and he's very funny, and kind of weird to put him on this dog list, but he's a dog. At number 14, I have Krypto the super dog. The thing that really helped his ranking, if you don't know this is Superman's dog, if it's not obvious. The thing that really helped his ranking, though, get him up above in the top 50%, is how great he was in the most recent Superman movie. He was such a little shit, honestly. He was such a little shit, and he was so fun. But no, the idea of like a dog with Superman powers is so funny to me, and so interesting, and so, I don't know, lighthearted. It just like makes stuff less serious, and it makes more sense for if the dog has superpowers to be part of this than Ace the crime hound, because like Batman's really good because he's so smart. Ace can be as smart as he is, but he's still a dog at the end of the day. Krypto with having superpowers makes sense for him to be like Superman's pet and his helper, I guess. And in 13th place, we have Spike from Rugrats, specifically though from all the Rugrats movies, because he's just protecting babies. That's all he does in all the movies. In the original Rugrats movie, I think he's protecting them from wolves. In Rugrats Go Wild, where they like meet with the wild thornberries, he literally protects them from like I think a cheetah or something, like a big cat of some sort. That's crazy. That's so cool. And I think he's voiced by Bruce Willis, which is also really funny. And then in Rugrats in Paris, I think he just finds himself a gal. He deserves it at that point. He deserves him a gal. But no, Spike's really cool. He's protective of these babies, and I don't know. He deserves the world. He's a good dog. And in 12th place, I have the GOAT Bluey. I love the show Bluey, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Bluey made this list specifically because the show's so great. Because Bluey's an okay character. I think Bluey's pretty cool. But I wish I could put the whole family. I wish I could put Bandit and Bluey and Chili and whatever Bluey's sister's name is. I can't remember right now. I'll probably remember by the end of this recording. But no, I like their whole family's so fun, and I think they're so silly, and I love that. I'm just trying to think of Bluey's sister's name. That's crazy. But no, Bluey's crazy cool. I love that the show is like the most streamed show in the world, and Bluey's just a fun character. It's just, I think they wrote them so well as like just little girls, but they're dogs. I don't know. Really like Bluey. But at the top of B tier, we got the better Blue dog. We got Blue from Blue's Clues. Blue's the GOAT. Blue's one of the OGs. I remember watching Blue when I was 4 years old, and Blue was just always looking for clues. Like, Blue's one of the best detectives in fictional history. Put him right up there with Benoit Blanc and Sherlock Holmes. Blue's a girl. I keep forgetting Blue's a girl. But no, Blue's really cool. Blue is a big part of my childhood. Thinking like Steve. Gosh, they're so cool. But no, I like Blue. I like the whole shtick of like Blue found a clue and her paw prints on the clue. Blue's great. Blue is just always helpful.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?
All right, and starting A tier, we have number 10, Seymour from Futurama. This was the definition of a good dog that'll wait for you. Because, no spoilers in the show. This is like one of the saddest episodes in the show, too. Fry finds this dog, and they like become friends and all this stuff. But then he goes into the future, like that's the whole shtick of the show. And Seymour just waits for him. They kind of retcon that a little bit later, but like Seymour waits years and years and just pretty much dies there waiting for him. And if you can tell me there was another dog that ever did that, I don't know him. Seymour was one of the goats, and honestly, it was one of the best episodes of the show ever. At number 9, I have Bond from Spy Family. This show is really fun. I want to talk about this at some point. The show is really fun. Me and my girlfriend have been watching it. It's very good. The 3rd season just came out, and we've been kind of watching them. But Bond is so sick. With Bond and Anya together, it's such a powerhouse. Because, okay, so let me explain this a little bit. Bond is the big-ass dog, and he can see into the future a little bit. He's been genetically tested. He's a little smarter than most dogs, and he could see into the future. Well, and then Anya, the little girl in the show, she could read minds. So she could kind of see the future with his stuff. So they've worked together and, like, saved some people before. I don't know. It's just super cool. Bond has a little bow tie on, which is always rad. Bow ties always get points from me. And this show is just really, really great. Check out Spy Family. It's really good. But no, Bond's sick. Then in 8th place, we have Gromit of Wallace and Gromit fame. Gromit's just a great, like, sidekick. Him and Wallace are always, like, making inventions and making these cool things or taking care of these things that need taken care of. Gromit's an OG. He never complains. He's just there to help. I should watch these movies more often because they have such a nice charm to them, and I don't, and I should. But no, Wallace and Gromit's really great, and Gromit is just a good dog. I don't know if he ever speaks or can. I don't think so. But he's just there, and he's just helpful, and I don't know. I really like Gromit, especially when Wallace is being silly about something. He just fixes it. At number 7, I have Mr. Peanut Butter from Bojack Horseman. He's just such an interesting character. He is just this, literally, they made him a, like, golden retriever, and he is 100% the, like, golden retriever boyfriend, golden retriever everything. He's just so peppy and happy, and it's rare to see him out of that, but when he is out of it, it's like seeing Ted Lasso in a bad mood. It's crazy. But no, I really like Mr. Peanut Butter. He was such a bright, shiny spot compared to Bojack's usual depressive state, and I don't know, I always really liked Mr. Peanut Butter, and because sometimes you need that friend. You need the friend that's super peppy, super happy with life, and just, I don't know, show you how it could be if you act a little happier. Then at the top of A tier, in 6th place, I have Max from The Grinch. Max is the GOAT. Max is the reason why the Grinch learns his lessons. Max is the reason why the presents didn't get thrown off the mountain. Max did everything he could, just as a dog too, to help the Grinch have his redemption arc. I know that's silly. It sounds like I'm reading into it, but, like, watch one of the movies again with that thought process, because Max is the one doing all the heavy lifting. Not literally, because the Grinch is really strong, but he's the one doing all the heavy emotional lifting. If he could have drugged the Grinch to a therapist, he would have. Max is really great, and especially because it's getting closer to Christmas, I was thinking about it, and I was like, he had to be at least A tier for me. All right, now to start off S tier. At number 5, I have Mr. Goofy, Goofy himself. Goofy's great. Goofy is funny. He talks. The thing that actually held me back from putting him up a little higher is, personally for me, Goofy gets a little grating and annoying at times. Not often, mind you, but, like, I don't know. And they write him to be that way sometimes, because I'm thinking of, like, the Goofy movie and the Extremely Goofy movie. You know, he's kind of, I don't know, and I feel bad, but he's kind of not a dick. He's just annoying at times, and that's the only reason why he isn't higher, because he is funny, he is great, he's a hell of a skateboarder. I don't know. I love Goofy, and he is definitely S tier for me. All right, in 4th place, I have Jake the dog from Adventure Time. This is probably the least known of my top 5. But if you haven't seen Adventure Time, you should watch it. Jake is really, really great. Jake is one of the 2 main characters, and he's funny. He's a good big brother. He's just out there. He can grow and shrink at any sizes and, like, change his shape, which is cool. He's a dad, which is rad. Like, I don't know. Jake is just out here. I don't know how to describe him. He's just making bacon pancakes and living life, and he is a bright spot on this list. Now, starting the top 3, I have Snoopy. Snoopy is such a fun character because we see during Charlie Brown and all their different specials, he's off just doing his own thing. Charlie's getting rocks for Halloween, and Snoopy is shooting down fighters for World War I. It's crazy. Snoopy's so cool, and Snoopy's just there. He's just having a good time, and he's always doing his own thing, though. It almost reminds me of like Perry the Platypus, because like there's a main story going on, and then Snoopy's stealing Russian spy messages. You know, like Snoopy's just really cool, and Snoopy knows he's really cool, and that's okay. I think Snoopy absolutely deserves to be in the top 3. And at number 2, I have Courage from Courage the Cowardly Dog. This dog has been through it. Have you ever watched this show? Because if you have, you would know he faces some of the scariest things that has ever come across Cartoon Network, and that children probably shouldn't have watched. A lot of them were really actually scary. But Courage, you know, even with his abusive Eustace, you know, him and Muriel is cool, but Eustace is verbally and like probably literally abusive. But no, he will save them every single time. He will run back in a burning building to save them, and that's cool. And I don't know, he's just so fun, and he's like gibberish. Like, I love his gibberish. It's so fun. He's just always about it, and he's a ride or die, and he'll go fight Lucifer if it means that you come back home. And that's rad. And finally, at number 1, who else could it be but Scooby-Doo? I love Scooby-Doo. I love all the movies. I love all the stuff. You could ask any of my friends. I often do a Scooby-Doo impression. They probably hate it at this point, but that's fine. I love Scooby-Doo. I think he is such an iconic character in media. He's been around for over 60 years, I believe now, and he has been consistently, like, I saw a thing, every generation has their own Scooby-Doo because he's such a popular character, and it's such a good set of characters, but Scooby's the star. It's always Scooby, like, as many traps as Fred sets and as many plans as Velma has, it's Scooby and Shaggy that usually accidentally save the day. They're just great, and I love Scooby. I love his, like, ruh-roh. I love always how he talks and that he talks. I think that's really fun. Scooby's just a good character, and Scooby absolutely deserves to be the top at number 1 in S tier. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment below your favorite fictional dog. Maybe I missed them. Maybe I didn't have them on here. I don't know. I only put the ones on here that I felt that I could kind of yap about a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, comment below, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next week. Bye.